You found the perfect house, you got your offer accepted, and then bam, you get hit with something called closing costs. What are they? And why are they so dang expensive? Whether you're buying or selling, closing costs are part of the deal. But if you don't know what to expect, they can really catch you off guard. So let's break it down nice and easy. Hey everybody, I'm Angela. I'm your real estate BFF, here to make sense of all the fine print without putting you to sleep. Today, we're talking about closing costs, what they are, who pays what, and how to prepare for them like a pro. Closing costs are all the fees and expenses you pay to close the deal on a home, and that's on top of your down payment if you're buying, or deducted from your proceeds if you're selling. So these include everything from lender fees, title insurance, and property taxes to legal fees, recording fees, and more. It's like the fine print on a fancy dinner bill. Stuff you didn't see coming, but it's all in there. For buyers, closing costs usually run 2 to 5% of the purchase price. So on a $400,000 home, that's $8,000 to $20,000, depending on where you're at. For sellers, you're usually paying a little bit more, about 6 to 10%, but a big chunk of that is agent commissions. The rest is taxes, title work, and transfer fees. Here's what's typically included in the buyer's closing costs. So you've got your lender's fees. This includes loan origination, underwriting, points. You got the appraisal fee. You've got the credit report fee, and most of this is going to be rolled up into your loan. Title insurance, which protects you if there's a title issue down the road. You've got the escrow fees. You've got prepaid taxes and insurance, and lenders usually collect a few months worth up front, just to smooth the way. We've also got the recording fees to officially record the deed with the county. In Bernalillo County, that's about $35. So, and if you get an attorney, if you have if you have attorney's fees, if your state requires it. Depending on your lender or your state, there might be other little line items. So always read your loan estimate carefully and ask questions. And I can provide one of those for you when we get into the transaction. Now, for the sellers, here's what you'll usually pay. Real estate agent commission, which is usually 5 to 6% split between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. Title insurance for the buyer, and this is usually the seller's responsibility. Transfer taxes, and that varies by state and county. Escrow or attorney's fees, outstanding property taxes or liens. Those can really get in your way if you have unpaid liens, so keep on top of it. HOA fees and special assessments. And just like with buyers, these costs are deducted from your net proceeds at closing and not paid out of pocket that day. So this can vary depending on your location and your contract. So in some states, the buyers pay the title insurance, and in other states, the sellers do. In some areas, the buyer covers most of the closing costs unless you negotiate for the seller to help. But you can always negotiate all the closing costs. In fact, in slower markets, it's pretty common for sellers to chip in to help out with these costs. It's called a seller concession. And it can make a huge difference for first-time home buyers trying to stretch their budget. So let's take a quick look at an example. So if you're a buyer, you're buying a $400,000 house, 3% closing costs are going to be about $12,000. Your down payment is going to be $20,000. That's 5%. Your total cash needed is $32,000. If you're the seller, agent commissions, 6% split between the both agents, right? That's going to be $24,000. Other fees, $3,000. Total closing costs, $27,000. And if they owe $300,000 on their mortgage, their net proceeds is going to be about more or less $73,000. So you see how quick that adds up. It's not just about your purchase price, it's what you walk away with after everything's said and done. So a few days before closing, both buyers and sellers get something called a closing disclosure. And this spells out every cost, every credit, and the final amount due at the table or going to be received at the table. Review it carefully, ask questions if you don't understand what's going on, and don't be shy. You should know where every dollar is going. It's your money. So buyers, make sure that you budget for more than just your down payment. Really important. Ask your lender for a loan estimate early on in the process. Consider asking for seller credit if the market allows. Sellers, be sure to know your net sheet. Your agent should provide this when you're first starting out. Factor in commissions and taxes before pricing your home. We're going to talk about home pricing in another video. Don't forget prorated items like HOA dues or utilities. So, my take? Closing costs are not the fun part of buying or selling, but they're necessary. And when you know what to expect, they don't need to be scary. A good agent will break it all down for you and let you know where everything is sitting so that there's no surprises, no sticker shock, no last minute scrambling. So, do you want some help running the numbers on your next home? Or do you need a breakdown of what you'll walk away with if you sell? Drop your zip code in the comments or shoot me a message. I will send you your custom estimate, no strings attached. If this video helped you clear the fog, give it a like, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who's getting ready to buy or sell. Closing costs might not be the fun part. They might not be glamorous, but understanding them is real power. Check out this video over here for information on how we price homes. Have a great day.